Authorities arrested Juan David Ortiz, a 10-year veteran and a supervisor with Laredo Sector Border Patrol. He's facing 4 charges of murder and 1 charge of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon and unlawful restraint.
We do consider this to be a serial killer. It meets the qualifications or definition of being a serial killer. In this case, we have 4 people that have been murdered.
Now, authorities are calling this case a series of murders made by a serial killer. There are 4 victims in all that were murdered and 1 victim that is alive and was able to escape. Here are the chain of events, starting with the first victim. The first victim, 29-year-old Melissa Ramirez, was found September 3rd on Jeffries Road along Camino Colombia. In the affidavit we obtained, Juan David Ortiz confessed to having driven to Jeffries Road, and when Ramirez got out of his truck, he shot her in the head multiple times. The second victim, 42-year-old Claudine Luera, was found by a truck driver along Camino Colombia, just a few feet away from the first crime. This happened Thursday, September 13th. In the court documents, it states that Ortiz pulled over on the side of the road after Luera questioned him about the first victim, Melissa. Ortiz gets out of the vehicle and shoots Luera in the head multiple times. Now, what happens in the time between these 2 victims and the other 2 victims is what led to his arrest.
Approximately 2 a.m., he was approached by DPS troopers. We had information that he had already kidnapped and tried to kidnap a victim. He evaded the troopers, ran to the hotel there on the Garden where he was arrested.
A break authorities were waiting on for days. That victim is the only survivor in the series of the killings. In the documents we obtained, it also says she too confronted Ortiz about the first victim, Melissa, at the suspect's home. They then drive to a gas station located on McPherson and Loop 20.
Apparently the suspect pulled out a gun on her and she was able to escape.
That is when the victim alerts a DPS trooper that was at the gas station at the time. After authorities speak to her, they got information that led them to Ortiz. But an hour passed by and Ortiz had already killed 2 more victims. The third victim was found a few hours after authorities captured Ortiz on I-35, mile marker 20. The fourth victim was found the same day later in the afternoon after Ortiz confessed, also along I-35, but on mile marker 14. That victim is a male, and he has been identified by his family as Humberto Ortiz. Both of these victims were picked up along San Bernardo and killed with a gunshot to their head.
Laredo is not the sleepy town that we all grew up in. This is crimes that are consistent with bigger cities. Laredo is a big city. We're seeing more and more serious crimes.
This is still an ongoing investigation.